So this movie was my number one most anticipated movie of the year. I love the Final Destination franchise, and Bloodlines did not disappoint. Chase Leak here at the Blue Futon reviewing Final Destination Bloodlines. What's about pretty simple premise. Death's going to come after you, even if you cheat it. Doesn't matter when, how, or how. It's actually going to be crazy. Every time you cheat death the first time, death is going to be like, okay, you're going to make the fucking paper, the news, because I'm about to make your death so fucking weird. We're doing this. And that's what occurs. Tony Todd's last film, he knew he was going to die. Unfortunately, you could just totally tell in this movie about his deterioration of health. But pretty simple premise. You have an old lady back in the 1950s, I believe, in the skyline, or is it 70s or 50s? Anyway, she saved a lot of people's lives. A lot of people's lives. And Death's like, oh, motherfucker, you're going down. So everyone who survived and the family members of the bloodline will die sooner or later. And what do you know? The last family is up, and they are about to just go down in freaking flames and up crazy ass deaths. So to like this film, it was freaking fun. Yes, were there issues with some of the CGI and some of the budgetary constraints? I do think so. This was about a $50 million budget, and it did feel a little bit CGI-ish on some scenes. So let's just get the negatives out of the way. After watching like 1, 2, I'll go in 5, those 3, I mean, the deaths in the third one, too, with the engine and things like that, really was like, try to do it kind of practically in camera and not as much CGI effects. The fourth one went really, really CGI with the 3D. And then this one, you could tell they did go pretty CGI-y in this movie, which is fine. Which, that's probably the one negative, is like, yeah, because they wanted to go so fucking bombastic in this movie that they had to go the CGI route, which I understand that. But when you have like the fifth one, the cheerleader scene or the gymnast scene folding in half and things like that, and the plane scene, the first one, or the log scene where you actually watch them do the highway scene, try to do it in real time, you're like, holy cow. But this one relies a lot of CGI and a lot of dark humor. Like there's a lot of dark humor with the kid and things like that, and a penny. But yeah, that's one big negative. I would say majority to all of the deaths or death sequences in this movie has some CGI elements to it. But there is also some pretty damn metallic elements to it as well, and I'll just put it right there. The acting, the storyline really does work. It has a good, structure to this movie to connect it to other past movies, and I really did dig that, where it was like, yep, I see what you did there, and it does work through and throughout. I am shocked it made $51 million worldwide, or in the USA alone. Actually, let's look at the official numbers, because that is what the projection was. Let's see if it really was 51, because it was a whopping, because I said it was going to go do between 25 and 50 million. It was 51.6. It did even better. Then it was Thunderbolt, Sinners, Minecraft, Accountant 2. God, hurry up tomorrow. Fucking dropped like fucking fish cakes. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, yeah, wow. Okay, so Final Destination, bonkersly good. I don't think anyone was expecting to do this good. And that makes me wonder now. It basically made his budget back in this weekend. They're going to make a next one. And this is Zaslav's. Like, he was going to put this on HBO Max. He's making some dumb decisions, especially, like, yeah, you might have some hits with this, Minecraft and Sinners, but you have Mickey 17 and other things where you're like, what are you trying to do and what are you trying to think with this movie? Anyway, Final Destination Bloodlines, you have some actors you never heard of, and I think that's a good thing, because you weren't really focused on, like, of course, Tony Todd, but you weren't really focused on, like, oh, is Scarlett Johansson in this movie? Or is, like, Ben Affleck or someone, the high-profile names where you're like, oh, because they're going to survive and they're not going to die. At least with these, like, I hate to say no-name actors, but actors you've seen in some movies, but they're not really predominant main, stars. And I like that, because you don't know who's going to die because of that reason. Because if there's a high-profile name in this movie, they're probably not going to die. And that really is fun in this movie. Even with the first one, like, even, Devin Sawyer was not really that famous. Sean William Scott, Ali Larter, they were really not that famous, but you didn't know who was going to survive and die. And there is a pretty solid twist in this movie, where it's a funny twist, but you're like, oh, fuck. The tone is all over the place, and I really dug it with like the seriousness, the graphic gore, and then just the dark humor really meshes well in this movie. And it speeds by. This is an hour 50-ish minute movie, and it wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And it's absolutely bombastically fun. And that's what the best thing you say about this movie. It's fun, it's gory, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And like I said, now you know for a fact they're going to make a 7th one. They're 100% going to do it, but the question is, how are they going to tie it in now? And what are they going to do to make sure it happens? Could it be something crazy? My opinion, right? If you were to have a opening death scene, you do it at a concert venue with Einstein Kill. And when I was at one in Irving, Texas, there's these big ass fans. They drop, they kill people, and you just have a bonkers one where you kind of restart the franchise where either a person saves a lot of people and you make it more of a thing like, how can we save these other people that are going to go through all this craziness? I think that would be more fun. But of course, the funness of this one is connecting it to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now it's going to be kind of hard to connect all of them together personally. So I am curious what they're going to do next, but I know they're going to greenlight another Final Destination film. So overall, Final Destination Bloodlines, it was a fun freaking film. Gory, dark humor, bombastic, crazy. And some of it might be a little bit too over the top for some people with some of the deaths and some of the dark humorousness of it. Yes, the CGI, I was a little bit bummed where it could have gone a little bit more practical with some of the effects and deaths, but you know what? I was still satisfied with what I got on screen. So Final Destination Bloodlines will receive a 4.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 90%. So see the critics and user scores gave this one. So you have critics a 93% with 137 of them, audience score at 89% with over 2,500 critic consensus. Adding some surprisingly emotional layers into the ghoulish bones of Final Destination mythology, Bloodlines ingeniously executes grisly set pieces with precision and turns impeding doom into outrageous fun. Correct. 93, 89, 90. Chase out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of these Bluetopia. You Blue Tony. Thank you for watching. A great day. Watch the tape tomorrow. Week from now. Here from go freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And who the hell knows when you cheated death? Did you? You may never freaking know.